What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Maaaan Listen. I'm your host, Zach Berger. Man, it's good to be back. I know I'm late. I'm late to filming and posting this week. It's been hectic. I didn't know if I was going to film this week. I'm a little sick right now. We'll get into that more. But the point is, we're here. That's the point. You know, if I cough, if I sneeze or sound all stuffy, I apologize. But here's the truth. It don't matter because it's my show. And we're here. So I'm happy to get an episode out. So much stuff has happened. We do have our water this week. It's a Chick-fil-A cup, but I promise it's water. I'm going to need it because it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. Struggle bus. But we are here and we're going to get through it because we have a lot of good topics and a lot of stuff I wanted to cover. So let's get right into it. First things first, let's talk about kind of the reason why last week's episode was a little rushed, no graphics. And what I did this past week, it's because on Wednesday I had a flight out to Tucson, Arizona, and I got to go on a trip for a class here. We do a show called The Poke Report. We flew out to Arizona, covered the football game, filmed our show. It was a good time, man. Left on Wednesday, had a crazy layover in Dallas, and then it was just really cool. I got to do a lot of really cool stuff. Toured the campus. The campus was beautiful, first of all. Holy cow, it was so nice. It was super hot out there. That dry heat is no joke, but it was still really, really cool. And, got to do that. We filmed our show in their studio, got to meet a lot of students and faculty. On top of that, there was an opportunity for a student to go on a radio show, and I went on a radio show, Fox Sports in Tucson. It was in a super cool iHeartRadio station, and it was just awesome, man. It was lit. It was super cool. And I loved it. And I absolutely loved it. So it was a great time, wonderful time. On top of that, covered the game on Saturday. It was once again burning hot on the field. Had to wear a hat so I wouldn't burn so bad. The game was really rough, that we'll get into. But at the same time, being on the field, being in a new stadium, I thought was really cool. And it was just a really good time, fun time. So, blast of a trip. I did get sick though. I think a mix between that dry heat and then that hotel stuffy air, like always in hotels. Been a little stuffy, throat clogged up a little bit, but we push through, we get through, and we get better. So we are here. An amazing trip, but on that trip, like I talked about, OSU football, man, it looked non-existent. It was just rough. I mean, not a single offensive touchdown. The one touchdown came out of a pick six on the backup quarterback late. Offense just couldn't get anything going. Zane Flores pulled for Sam Jackson, who was a quarterback back at like Cal and TCU. Became a receiver at Auburn, then came here as a receiver. Now seems to have to be back in his quarterback days. Banks Bowen came in. Just offense couldn't do anything. They really couldn't. It looked abysmal. Passes weren't getting completed. Runs weren't finding holes, and it was rough. It was really rough. On top of that, defense. It's funny. The defense gave up a lot. Like Noah Fafita was slinging the ball downfield everywhere he wanted to. The secondary was atrocious. But with that said, the interior looked really good, held their run game pretty consistently, came up with a lot of stops on third downs, which was really impressive. And they were flying around with an energy. First game for Clint Bowen as the defensive coordinator, and you could tell the energy he brings to this team and that defense, and I thought it was shown really well there. So they really got to clear up some things with tackling and with the secondary. But with that said, the interior looks pretty good. So, is it wrapped? Probably. Haas won't be back for a while still. The transfer quarterback from North Alabama, probably not going to see him. At all or for a while because he's still learning the playbook. Sam Jackson's probably going to be the quarterback this weekend versus Houston. We're not going to win, but hopefully we see some more creative stuff. The tough thing that, Meacham talked about was Sam Jackson. They had built in some trick plays with him throwing the ball because he obviously went into college as a quarterback. And played quarterback in college. So they had some trick plays, but they didn't have a bunch of stuff. They had like 4 or 5 sets with him, and that's it. So they really didn't have a lot planned. They weren't planning on him going in Arizona like as the main quarterback. So hopefully now with the full week of prep, they have a lot more prepared as him being the quarterback specific role. So we'll see. Listen, obviously this season nothing's gonna like happen, no miracle's gonna happen, but we're still hoping to win a game or two. Maybe we win homecoming next week. Who knows? We'll see. Probably not. Cincinnati's looking hot. We'll get to that, but yeah, it's just tough. It's tough, and it'll be interesting to see how things keep going. Houston, Connor Wigman got a little hurt, but he'll still probably play. Probably will take care of business against us, but hoping to see improvement week by week with all the newness happening in the football program. Continuing with OSU sports and OSU athletics, I'll look around the rest of OSU athletics. Some small things. Diamond sports starting up, softball getting to start scrimmages. They looked rough in their first scrimmage they had, but that was against like a Team USA team, which you can't expect them to be great in that. But they've looked good. You know, we're learning about these teams. We won't know anything until real season. Baseball also getting going. They're doing some scrimmages out in O'Bray, playing small schools, playing themselves. Um, so that's a good time as always. And yeah, so Diamond Sports getting going. I'm really excited for baseball. Getting a couple commits. I've been looking at the transfer class they got. Some interesting guys I'm excited about. They got a Clemson two-way, an Ole Miss catcher, and a UC Santa Barbara left-handed pitcher. So some guys I'm definitely interested that we'll note on as the season progresses. On top of that, basketball is getting ready to get going. Women's basketball got some high praise nationally. Preseason 22 ranked. Staley Hurd, preseason All Big 12 team. Cowgirls predicted to finish fourth in the Big 12 and with a couple first place votes. So big expectation for them. They kind of reloaded with depth. So hopefully seeing them do some good things. Obviously, if you're a longtime viewer, you know Maaaan Listen and OSU women's basketball. Big fans of each other. We've done a lot together, so wishing them the best of luck. And on top of that, men's basketball, honestly, even more hype around them. First full off season for Steve Lutz being the head coach, and so he got to actually reload. Didn't have to last minute find scraps. He actually got to do it, and he kind of seems to have built a pretty good team. So excited to see what he can do with this team. Got to recruit now with people knowing his style, knowing how he likes to coach and how he likes to play. Found guys that are willing to do that and fit that, and so it'll be interesting. A lot of hype with them. I think not top of the Big 12, but I think they could compete and be a competitive team in one of the best basketball conferences in the country. All right, next up with OSU sports is one last thing is cowgirl soccer. Man, looking rough. I won't lie, looking rough. Lost to BYU. Still looking for their first Big 12 win. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check Oklahoma State soccer schedule. But I'm pretty sure last time I checked, they had because they lost to Kansas to start it off, and Kansas had been really good. Let's see. After Kansas, oh yeah, Drew in Arizona. Excuse me, Arizona State. Lost to Arizona, lost to Texas Tech, and then lost to BYU. Letting up a lot of goals, but it's hard, right? This is a kind of transitional year. They have a lot of freshmen playing, so a lot of girls are learning. And on top of that, your stars that you do have been hurt. Like Script Pineda, Gracie Ben Boydell, your two leading scorers have been hurt. So it's been an unfortunate year. It's another one of those teams where I don't think it's going to be some crazy turnaround, but I think this is a good year to set them up for the future. Hopefully, with all these freshmen getting real Big 12, real play experiences. All right, that's my OSU rant. We're going to go to some MLB postseasons. But it's everyone's new favorite segment, new time. I didn't do it last week because I didn't have it with me. But this dry mouth with this sickness is hitting early. We're going to do a little water break. Cue the music. Always tough when you're yapping by yourself, but especially when you're feeling a little sick, you really get all that going. So, gotta stay hydrated. Hydrate or dehydrate. Sorry, that was weird. I don't know what that was, but yeah. Good to have the water break back. Favorite news segment. I love making that little graphic. That where is it? It's oh, I'm mirrored on the screen over there, so pops up right here. It's always a good time. All right, MLB postseason update. Let's get into it. Wow, I was kind of wrong with some stuff. I think I said winner of Yankees Red Sox was going to win the World Series. Both are out. Which, if it's between me and you, I'm low key happy about personally. But my MLB prediction was wrong. Um, how we feeling? Let's get some updates. Man, the Dodgers doing the Dodger thing. They looked like good, obviously, during the regular season. Nothing went crazy. And then when it come playoff time, man, they're just shining. Did get handed their first loss last night. Phillies bats woke up at home. So Phillies are staying alive. Remember, these are best of five series. So Dodgers had a chance to sweep last night. Phillies stayed alive, seeing if they can do it again. But it looks like it's the Dodgers series to win. Blue Jays, man, they're looking electric. Man, their captains, Vladdy's popping off, Kirk, all those guys, their bullpen is dominating. And so Toronto really looks like a force to be messed with in the AL. Series tied at 2-2 between the Tigers and Mariners. Tigers taking it home last night. I believe now they go back to Seattle for a game five. It's going to be a tough one. It's not a game seven, but game fives. Um, you never know what could happen. It's winner go home. Going to throw everything at the shelf. Tigers, their pitching is always the thing. It's like after school bowl, what is it, right? Casey Mize hasn't gone more than 3 innings. You did a bullpen game last game. So, can your bats carry you? Can they wake up for a winner go home? We'll have to see. That's going to be a big thing for them. Unfortunately, the Blue Jays just look so hot that I think Blue Jays walk out of the AL big time. NL, on the other hand, it's a really crazy thing. Like I said, now the Phillies could get hot. Phillies could win two in a row. It's very easy for teams this good. Um, even though they lost the first game, they did hit Shohei, right? They hit him, and so you know it's very possible. Um, but I lean towards Dodgers. And then the other series has been electric. I mean, the Brewers. Oh my gosh, I knew they were good, but you want to talk just about all hands on deck? I saw a quote. Their catcher, William Contreras, who I'm a huge fan of, put out a quote. He said, individually, we do not have star players. He said, we don't. But you can't tell me that there's a better team than us because they play like a team. This is old school baseball. They don't have stars. They really don't. I mean, I mean, unless you're I'm tapped in with baseball, but there's some names that I even don't know. Yes, Yelich is your star, but then it's like Jackson Churio. You're calling him a star. He's a rookie, right? Bryce Terang, like he's solid. He's not some star. William Contreras is your next closest star, but then Frelick, Durbin, Bowers, Lockridge, Collins, Montesterio, Vaughn, Ortiz, Perkins. These are guys who aren't stars, but they're winning and playing as a team. And that's what I love about them. That's why I was high on them and they were my pick. And their pitching, same thing. Win by committee. Everyone pitches, everyone wins, and they come in and get it done. They did lose well, they had crushed the first two games. Let me find those scores. I mean, it was like they scored, what was it? Game one, they won 9-3. Game two, they won 7-3. So their bats were electric and they were scoring early. 4-run first inning, and then I want to say they had like a 5-run first inning in the first game. 6-run, yeah. So they were hitting early and often at home. Jameson Taillon kind of shuts them down. Um, in game three at home, but they still just have to win one more. It's going to be hard to win in Chicago. Wrigley's a tough place to play, and Chicago, you definitely saw it in the last game. They played up while they were playing at home. So we'll see what they can do. They play tonight as I'm filming this on Thursday. Peralta versus Boyd. Boyd lost his first game in the playoffs. Peralta won it. So we'll see. But I really like the Brewers, but it's going to be hard to take down a giant of either the Phillies or Dodgers come next series. My predictions as we sit here this week, I'm going Dodgers v Brewers in the NL, and I'm going. Mm, let's see real quick. Who pitches in Game 5 for Tigers, Mariners. It's Scooble versus Kirby. Oh, okay. Then I'm going Tigers versus Blue Jays in the AL. I'm going Blue Jays winning the AL. Who do I go in the NL, guys? I don't want to pick the Dodgers, but I'm gonna pick the Dodgers. I want it to be the Brewers so bad, but I'm gonna pick the Dodgers. Dodgers, Blue Jays. Blue Jays are my updated MLB World Series champions, and that's what I got on baseball. We'll see though. Things keep changing. I was wrong. I was wrong last week. We'll see if I'm wrong again. Water break. Whoa. Speedy one. I know the music played. You probably didn't even need the music, but had to hit a quick sipper right there. All right. Moving over to some football, some kind of hits to go with college football first. A lot of good games. We're just going to have a couple hits. First off, Miami, Florida State, kind of closer than it looked, 28-22. Miami took care of business. I will say shout out to Florida State, though, for bouncing back after their tough Virginia loss in overtime. They didn't win, but they competed with, in my opinion, the best team in the country. I think Miami is the best team in the country. Ohio State's really good. Penn State's really good. But something about Miami this year is really clicking on all cylinders. And so good on Florida State for sticking with them and competing. UCLA, Penn State, go Bruins, baby. Shout out my dad. Shout out UCLA. Shout out the blue and gold. Go Bruins. And shout out their new offensive coordinator, man. It's so funny to me because, it's all interim there, coordinators and head coach. And you would think in this sense, Tim Skipper would get all the love because he's the interim head coach, but it's Jerry Neuheisel that's getting all the love. But that is because, what? You win by a score of, where is it? 42-37. You still gave up 37 points, and I know it's the Penn State, but you still gave up 37 points, but you scored 42 with, let's look at this. 1-4. It's their first win of the season. You scored 10, 23, 10, 14 against Utah, UNLV, New Mexico, Northwestern, and you go and put up 42 against Penn State. Yeah, Neuheisel will take that credit. I hope he becomes the head coach. I love his mentality, love his drive, and he absolutely dominated and showed out in his coaching debut. Shout out UCLA. Good things for the future of that program. Nico Amaliava, blanked on his last name. Amaliava showed out, did it himself, knew that he had to do it in the air with his legs. 3 touchdowns on the ground, 2 in the air. Absolutely dominated. Also, I wasn't going to mention this game, but shout out Florida beating Texas 29-21. Arch Manning, I've been calling him a fraud since day one, plays the most struggling team in the SEC and lets them walk over them and win. Happy for DJ Lagway, who's also been struggling, but Texas continues to be frauds. Vandy held in with Alabama there for a little bit, but couldn't do it 2 years in a row. It's fair. I get it. 30-14 Alabama. Man, Texas Tech keeps looking scarier, man. Now 11th in the country. 35-11 win over Houston. And Houston, Houston was one of those teams I was like, if anyone's going to be able to sneaky upset Texas Tech, it'll be Houston. They were 4-0. They were really rolling. I know Wegman kind of got hurt, but no, Tech handled business like a pro team should, and they're really representing the Big 12 well. They look really scary, man. Lastly, kind of keeping it with the Big 12, what is going on in Cincinnati? Holy cow, Bearcats. You take down the number 14th ranked Iowa State Cyclones 38-30 after beating Kansas 37-34 the week prior. You lost to Nebraska in week 1, but they've bounced back and looked really good. And I think they're sneaky. They're sneaky. They're moving forward, and they could be doing some good things there out in Cincinnati. Any other game I want to mention? I don't think so. Sorry, excuse me. It's not a pleasant sound to hear, I know. North Carolina's still not doing it. Baylor has to walk it off versus K-State. Both teams mid in the Big 12 this year. Yeah, no, not really, but that's my college football slate. And yeah, now we go to the NFL. This time, a proper water break. water break also being used this week as make weird noises with my nose because I'm so stocked up and not on the mic. But like I said, we're pushing through for you, baby. All right, NFL. Some more hitters with that, man. Shout out Mac Jones. Didn't think I'd be saying that in 2025, but the comeback kid leads the 49ers on Thursday Night Football to an overtime 26-23 win. Matthew Stafford balled out 389 yards, 3 touchdowns, but it just wouldn't be enough, man. Mac Jones slowly but surely leading his team, 342 yards, 2 touchdowns of his own, and they just took care of business. They came back, right? Well, no, wait, they didn't come back. Up 17-7, then went up 20-14. Yeah, no, the Rams came back, scored 9 in the fourth quarter, but then 49ers got a stop and then made a field goal in overtime. So shout out them. And they get Purdy back. So Mac Jones did his job. And shout out Mac Jones. That is something I want to mention. Beautiful answer in the press conference for a guy who was once a starter and probably feels like he still can be a starter in the NFL. What a professional answer to go into the press conference after that game. They said, Brock's coming back next week. He's ready. Do you feel like with this win you've earned that starting job? What's the feel? And he said, "Listen, I got brought in to be a backup quarterback. I'm going to do that to my best ability as I can. As a backup, we stay ready to go in when we need to. I did that, and now I do my job as a backup when he gets back." I know that's such a hard answer to give because yes, he truly does deserve to start because of what he did to keep them afloat. But what a professional answer from Mac Jones. Hasn't been in the league that long, but giving a veteran answer is very impressive. Shout out my Texans, man. 2 wins in a row. Clap it up for them. 44-10 win over the Ravens. Have, given up 10 points in the last 2 games. Last 2 games, a 0 and a 10. Largest blowout in Baltimore history since Jim Harbaugh has become the head coach. Largest win in Baltimore under Harbaugh. What was it also? It was largest blowout. I think maybe I also saw. Oh yeah. Since D'Amico Ryans is no longer calling the plays on defense, we've allowed 10 points in 2 weeks. Held Derrick Henry to nearly nothing. I mean, 33 yards on 15 attempts, averaging 2.2 yards. He always kills us. So shout out to the Texans. I know, yes, I get it. Listen, I get it. Cooper Rush was the quarterback. Their defense was banged up, but you still have to beat them and you still have to take care of business. And they did that. CJ Stroud, 23 for 27, 244 yards, 4 touchdowns. Looked like himself. They say, Zach, their whole secondary was injured. I get that, but even in previous weeks, he was missing wide open throws, and he wasn't missing them this game. And that's a big step in the right direction for me. Defense did their job. Could have easily been like, okay, we have Cooper Rush. We're just going to hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, let him eat, and we stopped him. And that was a really good job on Houston. Hopefully they can keep this momentum rolling. I know it's rare to start 1-3 and make the playoffs, but I do believe it's possible. I really do. What other games were we mentioning? Broncos hand Eagles their first loss. Shout out to them. Also tough. I was traveling. I was doing a lot of work during the NFL slate, so I didn't see many games. But Broncos were down 14. Hand Eagles their first loss of the season. Shout out the Broncos, man. Getting it done on the road too. Eagles go down for the first time. The Bills also went down for the first time. Patriots and Drake May show up in Buffalo, win 23-20. No more undefeated teams in the NFL because of that. Huge thing for them. I did mention the Bengals, quick little thing. Joe Flacco going over to the Bengals. Jake Browning's pretty mad, but we'll see how that goes for them. On top of that, Dolphins and yikes. Dolphins lose to the Panthers 27-24. Dolphins were up 17, and now they let Rico Dowdle run all over him, and Bryce Young lead the Panthers to a comeback. Man, they just look lost. Something needs to change for Miami. I don't know if it's Mike McDaniel. I don't know if it's Tua. I don't know if it's coordinators, but gosh, they just look abysmal. Finally looked like they had things going at the beginning of that game, and then they just let it all slip away from them. Same with the Cardinals. Kind of, you thought the Cardinals were gonna be something maybe, and now they're 2-3. Uh, Give the Titans their first win of the season. Snap a Titans 10-game losing streak they and had a huge comeback. They were up. I mean, what was the score at halftime? It was 21-6. 21-6 Cardinals. Titans ended up winning it 22-21. Their defense stepped up, scored 16 points in the fourth quarter, and Cam Ward, 21 for 39, 265 yards, one pick, gets his first win as an NFL quarterback. Good on him. Last thing, Jaguars, man, they looked really good. Monday Night Football, 31-28 win over the Chiefs. Trevor Lawrence is looking legit. He had that insane play at the goal line, falling, getting up, falling again, then getting up, collecting himself, and getting it in the end zone. Absolutely electric. Their defense looks so good. Um, Holding, the Chiefs, I know they've been down, but still hold them to 28, keeping in front of them. Um, they just looked really good. And I think, I know my friend who's a Jaguar fan, they had that 99-yard pick six. Devin Lloyd had some long kick returns. They just looked really good. I know my friend Devin, shout out Dev. He huge Jags fan, and he couldn't be more excited. He's ready for the playoffs, and I really think Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville wins the division. I think we have a chance, the Texans, to make the wild card, but I think Jacksonville has this division because they're looking pretty unstoppable. Okay, some quick hitters. This stuff didn't really, not too much to talk about, but I still wanted to mention it in the show. So we're just doing a little quick hitter segment. NBA preseason starts. Always good to see these new guys, whether it's rookies or guys who got traded or signed in their new homes, or just some vets getting to lace it up again. Rock their jersey, start playing in the preseason for my Rockets. Got to see Kevin Durant drop 20 in his first game, repping the H Town. It's always good to see that. You know, if you're a longtime viewer, Steve tried to get me into basketball, and I've been getting into it. So watching my Rockets, excited to see how they play this year, and just good to be back. Some kind of fun stuff. LeBron faked everyone out on social media. I think a guy even, oh, Steve had texted me about it. Some dude wants to sue because he got so juked out pretty much by the announcement. LeBron said announcement coming. People thought, oh my gosh, is he retiring? No, he's just releasing a second bottle of Hennessy. So that was pretty funny. Um, what a weird and wild thing to happen, but that did. And lastly, Philadelphia Phillies doing it right, selling a box of the 999 challenge. 9 innings, 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, and they're selling it. I'm popping up a picture of the box right now. Super cool image. Um, and it's just so cool to me. Uh, it's such a funny challenge. I bet it's expensive, but it's cool that they're buying into it for the playoffs. I think it's hilarious. All right, our last couple segments, but before that, we're hitting it with one more water break. Okay, pop culture. We're popping. We're popping. I got two. Small one first. At the Golden Globes for the first time ever at any award show, any big major four award show, there's a podcast category, audio only and video only. That's pretty cool to me, man. That's really cool. I'm a big podcast guy. I think, the mass media has really realized how big that is in viewership. And so to finally award that at, award shows, I think it's super cool. So for the first time ever, there's a podcast category at the Golden Globes. And that'll be really cool to see. I think it's in January. So really excited for the future of that. I think podcasts are they are the top one of the top media forms and are always growing. So it's really cool to see that. And also, I started Chad Powers show on Hulu about based on the Eli Manning skit of when he tried out for Penn State. Now, an actual show with, why am I forgetting the actor's name? Glenn Powell. Thank you, Glenn Powell as Chad Powers. And he was a washed up college football player going back. It's funny, a little slapstick, but 2 episodes in, and I really like it. It's just a nice, fun sports comedy. I love to see that. Wow. Okay. Struggle bus time. I've been struggling, so it's only right to get on the struggle bus. Struggle bus, man. I think I got to put myself on it. This sickness kicking my butt, man. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed my weekend, but it's kicking my butt. And I need to get back to full health. Had to grind out some homework this week. But hey, we're still doing good. We're good. Just kind of pushing through it a little bit. Been struggling just a little bit with the sick stuffiness, but we pushed through. But also my struggle bus, the main one is cowboy football. There's a difference between a bad season with positive things and a bad season with no hope. And I felt even like last year when it was all bad, I felt like there was games with hope and things that we could build on. Last week, it felt like there was nothing to build on. Like it genuinely felt like nothing could happen, and that's enough to struggle for me. Lastly, my main listen moment of the week is just the weekend and the opportunities I got out in Arizona. Absolutely phenomenal time, so fun. I got to be on a Fox Sports radio station. I got to cover a game and represent a school, an organization, meet people, and represent the school I'm at. And I think that's really cool. And put my best foot forward, filmed a show there, and I just think I'm really proud of that, being able to represent that and be labeled as something the school wants to put out. And I think that's really cool. So got to do that, got to go to a news station, meet an anchor, be on the radio and just all that stuff. It was really cool. So really good time out in Arizona. Happy to get this episode knocked out and get it out to you. Apologies again for the delay, but the week is the week and we got through it. We got this out. I'm Zach Berger. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to Man Listen. Tune back in. We'll be back to our regular scheduled program Wednesdays at 12:30. And that's all I got for this week. Man Listen, I love y'all. Great time. Happy to keep doing this. We'll see you next week.